guys, okay, so this, I believe, is the last lesson of this chapter, and yes it is, graphing inequalities in two variables. So yesterday's assignment on Alex, you guys had to graph, and the reason for that is because we're going to do some graphing here. Let's take a look here. Graph the boundary using a solid line when your inequality contains these. So because that includes those values, you're going to use a dotted line or dashed line when your inequality looks like that, because not include. Then you will use a point to determine which half of the plane should be shaded. Shade the half of the plane that contains the solution or true, that makes it true. And I have another way to look at this. I'll show you a picture. Anyway, so let's try this. So again, think of this as an equal sign. This is y equals, you know how to graph. My slope is 3/1. My y-intercept is 2. So I'm going to start at 2. And I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, over 1. Or I could go down 3, 1, 2, 3, over 1. So I could make this a -3 and -1 because they're equal to each other. Two negatives makes a positive. So you could do either way. This says it is is less than, so it needs a dotted line. So I'm going to dot this line. And then as far as shading, so shading, we need a whole thing on shading. If my variable is first, and we've talked about this. Okay, so if it's greater than or equal to, you shade up. If it's less than or equal to, you're going to shade down. Make sense? So on here, it's less than. So which side is less? That's the key. And I always think of going up a mountain. So where is the sky? Is the sky here or is the sky here? Here is the ground. Here is the sky. Ground. So less than is going to be this direction here. Okay, next one. My slope is -1/2. My y-intercept is a +2. So down 1 over 2, because there's only one negative. Down 1 over 2. Now I could put the negative with the 1, or I could put it with the 2. So I could go up 1 over to left 2, and I'd still be in that same spot. This time it's a solid line because of this inequality, and it says greater than. Where's my sky? Sky, ground. Greater than is going to be towards the sky. The shading part, I think, is going to be the most difficult on this. Okay, moving on to the next. This one is not in slope-intercept form, so I'm going to subtract x from both sides. So I'm left with 2y is equal to a -x plus 6. I always put my variable first, and it's a -x. and that's a positive 6. They are not like terms, so it looks like that. Then it says to divide everything by 2. So y, sorry, I shouldn't have put equals, is greater than or equal to. That would be a negative 1/2 x, because there's a 1 here. And then simplify 6 divided by 2 is 3. So here's my slope, here's my y-intercept. 1, 2, 3. Again, it says down 1 over 2, down 1 over 2. Solid line, because there's a line. Which, here's my sky, here's my ground. Greater. Next one, same thing. I need to get it in slope-intercept form, so that's y equals mx plus b. So I need to add 4x to both sides. So 2y is greater than 4x plus 8. Divide everything by 2. Y is greater than 4 divided by 2 is 2x plus 4. Here's my slope, here's my y-intercept. So 1, 2, 3, 4, y-intercept. So this is 2 over 1, again, is equal to a negative. So I could go down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. This time it's a dotted line, so we'll put dots. Again, this is my sky. This is the ground. Okay. This is more towards the ground, so your sky greater than is going to be here. Okay. Flip it over. It says to write an inequality for this. So here's my y-intercept. So you need to find your slope and your y-intercept. So my y-intercept is negative 2. And then I'm going to find another point. Here's another point that I can actually see. So I'm going to go up 3, 1, 2, 3, negative 1. So up 3, negative 1. So that simplifies to a negative 3. Okay. It's a solid line. So y, this is ground, this is sky. What's shaded? The ground. So it's going to be less than. Solid line means equal to. Negative 3x slope minus 2 is my y-intercept. Let's try that again. Y-intercept, 1, 2, 3. My slope, where's another point? Right here. So that's up 2 over 1 plus 2 plus 1. Okay. Y, this is my ground. Shaded. So again, it's going to be less than. Dotted line, so no equal sign. 2x plus 3. And that's it. Let's look at this word problem. You offer to go to the local deli and pick up a sandwich for your lunch. You have $30 to spend. So you need to spend less than $30. Because this is what you spend. Okay. Oh, actually less, you have $30 or equal to 30, because you could go all the way up to 30. Your chicken sandwich costs $3 each, so $3 for a chicken sandwich, and $1.50 for tuna. Write an inequality to represent this situation. So here it is. Okay. And then later, just to make sure you're okay with this, you could write it with the X. You can change your variables to what you're familiar with. And then that way, you know how to manipulate it. So changing your variables around is absolutely fine. All right.